Have you ever wondered why you're not where you want to be in life? Why you're still unsuccessful? Why maybe you're not even happy? Well, it could be multiple things, but you can't look past the distraction of social media. More specifically, one of the worst time stealers, Instagram. Wherever you live in the world, you've definitely heard of Instagram. With over 2 billion monthly active users, being the third most popular social media platform only behind Facebook and YouTube, Instagram has a huge influence on nearly everyone. But did you know that Instagram is being sued for being linked to depression and anxiety in kids? Not only that, but Instagram influences how children behave. It is addictive and it pressures young and impressionable minds to seek unrealistic expectations. These are just a few of the issues with Instagram, and don't be deceived because Instagram does not care about you or connecting you with your friends. Instagram has much more sinister intentions. Although you think it might not affect you, trust me, Instagram has a larger impact on your mind than you even know. So, how does Instagram take advantage of you?
In your opening statement that there's no link between mental health and social media use?
Senator, what I said is I think it's important to look at the science. I know people widely talk about this as if that is something that's already been proven, and I think that the bulk of the scientific evidence does not support that.
Instagram was launched on October the 6th, 2010 by friends Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger and gained over 1 million users within its first 3 months. It was originally intended to be an app where users check in, share photos, and earn points for hanging out with friends. Over time, the app continued to gain popularity, gaining over 27 million users by March of 2012. 1 month later, in April of 2012, Instagram was bought by Facebook for around $1 billion in cash, plus stock in the company. And as the app continued to grow, it would reach 100 million users by February of 2013. However, over the years, Instagram has continued to grow, adding many new features such as DMs, stories, notes, and many more, mainly using the platform's content as well as using celebrities and influencers to organically grow the amount of users on the app. But what tactics do Instagram use to keep you addicted to their apps? It might not be obvious to you, but social media apps are constantly fighting for your attention, because the more time you spend on their apps, well, the more money they will make from you. And Instagram is the same as every other social media app. We live in an attention economy. This means that their algorithms must show you content that will keep you engaged on their app for as long as possible, showing you content that will validate your thoughts even if that content is dangerous, meaning if you like funny content, it will give you funny content, and if you like depressing content, it will also show you those types of posts. In the modern world, every big social media company has a group of people dedicated to holding your attention for as long as possible, to steal your time that you will never get back. These people are attention engineers and growth hackers. Their job to design every part of the app in a way that keeps you on their app for as long as possible. And in order for companies to compete with one another, they have to keep crossing boundaries to make you more dependent on them. Facebook's former vice president of user growth, Jamath Palihapitiya, said, "I feel tremendous guilt. I think we have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works," further stating that he rarely uses Facebook and that his children aren't allowed to use that crap. So if a former employee of the company says those things, it really makes you question how bad these social media apps can be for you. Many critics compare Instagram and other social media platforms to slot machines. Slot machines bring in 70 to 80% of a casino's revenue. They're easy to use, people get hooked easily, and on top of this, they're designed to keep human brains occupied for as long as possible. The bottomless scrolling, quick, fast-paced videos, and captivating photos to take advantage of our dopamine reward system, the stories that disappear after 24 hours, and even the second it takes to refresh your feed are all strategies they use to build anticipation, so once your feed refreshes, you get a rush. As we live in an attention economy, you must understand that your attention is way more valuable than you realize for your own life and for these large corporations. And what you'll notice is that once you've started using the app, it's extremely hard to stop. Which made me think, well, social media might not be as social as we think. As well as all the tactics they use to keep you on their app for as long as possible, Instagram takes advantage of one key psychological part of our human nature. And what is this? It's our ability to connect with people and our need for community. See, on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, love and belonging is the third most important thing, meaning we need to feel a sense of belonging to a group of people because we are social beings, and with social interactions on the decline, decreasing by 30% since 2003, Instagram is in the perfect position to take advantage of our need for socializing, acceptance, and inclusion, with many studies showing that humans prioritize status and reputation over money. But you might be asking, Jono, how can Instagram affect me mentally?
Instagram studied the effect of your platform on teenagers. Let me just read you some quotes from the Wall Street Journal's report on this. Company researchers found that Instagram is harmful for a sizable percentage of teenagers, most notably teenage girls.
Well, if they keep you on the app for longer, you become dependent on them. Like a drug, you're an addict, refreshing your page for the next hit of dopamine, and unlike a normal drug, you don't have to pay a cent, and the drug never runs out. In fact, your payment is way more expensive, and it's your time and attention. And with such a grip on your time and attention, they can influence you however they want, and they know you'll still keep coming back for more. An article published by SBS in October of 2023 talking about how Instagram is being sued for using addictive features linked to depression and anxiety in kids claims that dozens of US states are suing Meta and Instagram, accusing them of playing a huge part in the youth's mental health crisis by making their apps addictive, with 33 states complaining to the federal court that Meta misleads the public about the dangers of its apps, knowingly keeping teenagers addicted. The complaint said Meta has harnessed powerful technologies to entice and engage the youth and teens. Its motive is profit, further saying that its research has associated children's use of Meta's platforms like Instagram and Facebook with depression, anxiety, insomnia, interference with education and daily life, and many other negative outcomes. This makes you question. It seems like a battle of power and control over the mind. On one end, you have the state controlling people through their education system, and on the other end, there are these social media platforms that governments must keep under control, not just because of the negative influence, but also because it might steer people away from the business that is the education system. However, following this, Meta said it was disappointed in the lawsuit, stating instead of working productively with companies across the industry to create clear, age-appropriate standards for the many apps teens use, the attorneys general have chosen this path. And you could say that instead of it being taken to this extent, social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, X and TikTok should do the right thing to begin with, instead of pointing blame at others. On top of this, Meta, TikTok and YouTube already face hundreds of lawsuits filed on behalf of children about the addictive nature of these apps. However, the lawsuit created by the 33 US states claims that Meta strives to make sure young people spend as much time on their apps, knowing they are more susceptible to social approval from other people, while being accused of breaking the law that bans the collection of data from children under the age of 13. Meta has been harming our children and teens, cultivating addiction to boost corporate profit, says California Attorney General Rob Bonta. The complaint also said that Meta didn't take responsibility and distanced themselves from a 14-year-old girl's suicide in the UK after she was fed content about suicide and self-harm, with the coroner exclaiming that the type of content was not safe for children, and that the girl would have binged harmful content that normalized the depression she felt before taking her own life. On top of this, Instagram is known to cause body image issues because teenagers compare themselves, they form feelings of jealousy and pressure to meet unrealistic standards, and if someone doesn't know when enough is enough for them, it can destroy them mentally. And with mental health issues on the rise, it's no surprise that Instagram is one of the largest companies taking advantage of the youth. See, Instagram isn't only an app that keeps you connected with your friends. You have to remember that Instagram is a business, and although the original founders may not have had these intentions at the start, it's clear their intentions are different now. It's no longer an app only about posting photos of yourself where you're going on a hike or posting a quick selfie. It's about how they can squeeze the most money out of every single last one of their users, spamming more and more ads, feeding you a bottomless pit of content to validate your beliefs and censoring anything that goes against their agenda. And for most of you, you probably didn't even realize how bad Instagram can be, hijacking your attention, killing your attention spans, and for most people, they don't even know that they don't know. So they may have problems, go to Instagram to escape their problems, not realizing that Instagram is only adding to their list of issues. And what's even worse is that no one tells you how bad it can get. So you'll follow what everyone else does, not realizing how bad Instagram and these other apps can be for you. So how can we as the people fix all of this? Well, first of all, it's not that simple. For you as a user, limit your time on these apps. Go out, experience life, meet new people, go through different experiences. Build a better connection with yourself so your validation can come from within instead of coming from external apps like Instagram, so that you don't seek external validation from other people and you end up feeling bad if your post only gets a few likes. And for parents, monitor your children and how they spend their time. Watch what they're doing if you do allow them to use their phones, as well as monitor the other kids they hang around and how they could be influencing your child. And obviously this would be difficult because you're not going to be able to monitor your kids 24/7, but by stepping up and being a good influence, you can set the standard that your children follow. Don't expect your children not to be addicted if you, as the parent, are also addicted to scrolling on these apps. And with that being said, subscribe and click on this video to understand how dating apps can ruin your mental health.